here we are on the 159 GNU Billy Goat.
Tactical, we rode it with tactical ADVs, tactical lexicon. And what'd you ride with? 32 something last?
32, no, something else. Team Light, J-Light.
And we rode it with the Phantoms, which is a great binding from Nitro.
All right, so here's the quick summary while we get our average on the hill. The GNU Billy Goat is an old school, all mountain ride that acts almost like full-on camber. It has a tip and tail the same width and a decent setback on board. You can center it on groomer days to ride switch and set it back a decent amount in powder for more directional float. Unfortunately, it doesn't float as well as many of its hybrid camber peers out there today. It also is really catchy, and if you get off your game, it can slam you. It does have really strong edge hold, it turns quickly edge to edge, and springs out of a turn or into an ollie really well. We all could even butter this a bit. So if that interests you, check out the rest of the review where we get into more detail.
And for sizing, for me, size 9, 185. 59 felt pretty good. I used to ride a 62 when it was a hybrid rocker. Now it feels a little more on the 59 side.
Yeah, I could have ridden at 62 though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
And these boys would need a mid-wide.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, but it works with their weight. Now, the camber profile and the on-snow feel, it is just full-on C3. It doesn't even look like there's a touch of early rise. So it's basically a full camber board. It rode like a full camber board. Definitely. It feels locked in. It feels technical. It feels old school. And it feels very much like the kind of board you don't really want to skid your turns with. It has that same GNU Billy Goat personality we rode years ago and liked.
Yeah.
It's a very narrow, gunny, turny kind of board. And then let's get into the flex here.
Definitely can take you uphill.
Oh yeah, it's got some pop. It's got some camber pop, but it had some semi-easily accessible butterability.
Even I was able to butter it, which I'm not a butterer. You know.
So it's
more
not,
of a however.
Yeah. So it feels a little, there's like a little more give in the nose and tail than from center.
Sometimes almost an
but it could pop from center, pop from the tip and tail. It just kind of pops all around, buttered okay. It has some pop. Some pop.
Very good.
Yeah, Soda Popensky right there. And then with speed. So as far as the base goes, I think it's good but not great. Not really high highs, but far from having low lows. And as far as chatter goes and kind of flex personality, Mervin has this kind of like really interesting, like they feel like they build around the wood and they want to accentuate that wood core and make this board feel poppy and lively, but it still had some dampness to it. And it wasn't too chattery. The bass had good glide. And as far as absorbing chunder and kind of dealing with that kind of, you know, micro bumpy, uneven snow, I think it's good, but not amazing. You can feel it vibrating, but you don't feel it like passing that vibration up into your joints. At least not with us and the bindings.
I think it handles great in the chunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had absolutely no problem once I hit like little icy chundery patches, having any sort of vibration come up into my body. It absorbed it super well.
Did you take it up into the sides?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I was hitting
I
a little bit of ugly icy patches on the
That's where it
sides.
can vibrate the most.
Yeah.
Because Billy Goats like that stuff.
Billy Goats love that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's why they that's
not
why they vibrate when they speak. But anyways, edge hold. That was horrible.
No,
Edit.
No, it's thoughtful.
No,
Thoughtful.
edge hold. Edge hold.
Excellent.
It's got, yeah, I mean, it's got a mellow mag. It's not as aggressive as the other mags. So for Peter, it's excellent because Peter loves that mellow mag, that 0.5 mag.
I do.
It's got that grip when you need it, but it doesn't grab in softer snow when you don't need it. And I like that, where the full mag can grab a lot, but very competent in the hard snow conditions we rode today.
Yeah. I mean, we were I was the first person to get on it before the sunshine really even started softening up the snow. And this thing
Keep
had
shining,
absolute
son.
no problem in the hard patches that we had earlier this morning. just fully locked in carves, and I felt at no point was I going to start washing out.
And turn initiation, I thought was pretty quick. This board has this very turny, very fun to turn, very quick turning, but powerful turning, kind of gunny personality that I really like. And when it's time to lay it over for a carve, this does well, and it springs out of a turn well. I think it's a good turner, a good carver. If you just want an old school camber turner, you know, that you can throw around, switch, this can work.
Yeah, if you're so perplexed by all these new modern shapes these days, and you keep yelling, "These damn kids, get off my lawn! You see two and your reverse bananas!" You know, this is
a reverse
back.
banana, that's a camber.
Come back to this.
oh yeah, irregular bananas.
Yeah. Have some reverse banana. But what were you saying, Jibbo?
Oh, nothing. The blast.
All right.
The blast, it held
come
its
and blast
turns
off.
well. It had enough like velocity going into a turn that it could go uphill pretty well, and still like, it was difficult to go full 360, but it had like uphill. I was like, all right, high skiers coming straight at me. Yeah, I'm gonna move now.
Yeah.
I think you could put this in a full circle though.
Yeah, you could easily go for full circle.
And you
The
know,
right
set
spot on the trail.
powder, I mean, we've ridden this year over year in powder back in the old days when it was full camber, and it does pretty well for camber. And you can get a decent amount of setback on board versus setback on side cut, and you can set it back a good bit for a kind of a directional twin. So it can do well. And for park, yeah, I'd love to ride the half pipe with this 59. I'd love to hit like a kicker or two. It doesn't have a really wide platform underfoot for an easy approach, but it's still really good. It's still in the upper level.
I mean, you can hold the edge, so you're going to be really good on jumps.
Yeah.
Pipe. Coming into a rail, you might start turning a little too fast, so you can overshoot it. But
Yeah.
for the
It's not-
transitional features,
Yeah, but it's not. If you're like looking to like really just like start out in park and stuff, it's not going to forgive
No.
you messing up, under rotating and, or like kind of getting onto your toe edge before, you fully finished your turn. So it's going to be a little unforgiving. It's more, I'd say it's a more advanced park board for sure. But
Well,
great
there you
board
go.
overall. Loved it.